Hi there, Sandra here from createinspain, and today I'm going to show you how I'm making my friend's anniversary card. This is for my friends Paul and Alison is a crafter like me, and I decided to do something that I haven't done before for her because it's a rather big anniversary. It's a 40th. That's a heck of a long time to be married. So I have my card. Well, I say card base, it's actually one of the inner pieces. And this is a design that I have printed onto plain white cardstock. And I don't know if you can see it too easily, but there's a cutout here. And the first thing I want to do is to take a duplicate cutout and stick it to the back of here. Now, I wouldn't have to do this except for the fact that my printer refused this morning to print on my watercolour paper. It's done it before, but today it just wouldn't do it. And this cardstock isn't quite heavy enough to support what I want it to support. And so, because of that, I need to stick this on the back of here. Because otherwise, I could have just done a double-sided print and that would have worked. And it's already causing me problems getting tangled up because it's two springs, basically. So all I'm going to do is get some glue and stick that in place so that it will be the back of the other piece. So when I turn this over now and I bring this up, I should, hopefully, got it slightly off in the alignment, but it's not going to be a great problem. It's only ever so slightly off. If I pick it up, I might be able to move it. No. Okay, it's not going to move because I used the glue that was going to secure it properly. Ah, that's typical. So when that is completely dried, and I do want to leave it to dry properly first, I've made sure it's separated out, but it's got a lot more heft in it now. What I would do is put some strong adhesive on there and then close it over. And now I'm going to close it and press on that and go check on what my printer has done, because hopefully, and I say hopefully, because it's been a bit hit and miss this morning. There we go. That's what we wanted to happen. We've got this curly whirly spring in here. So the card is actually going to go up that way. See what I mean about my printer this morning? I have absolutely no idea why it hasn't printed the red part of this, because you could see it on the screen and it should have printed the same heart design over that, and it shouldn't be actually printing that bit at all. There are days when I sometimes wonder why I get up in the morning. I have finally managed to get it to print a selection of my design, and what I need to do is to put it under here and match it up. So I can't remember which way around it was. I think it must have been that way around. Yeah, by the looks of it, that looks like it was round about there. Not quite, but somewhere around there. So I need to play around for a little while and match it up, and then to stick this on to the back of my card. Okay, I think that is as close as I am going to get it. So what I need to do is to actually put some glue around this bit here to keep it down. And that is not the easiest of things to do, but I dare say I'll manage it. And I'm going to use some wood glue for this because this comes out a little slower. I don't want to risk the other one coming out too fast. I'll keep the tape there. Now this is a complete A4 piece, except the fact that I trimmed just a fraction off of either side. And the reason I did that is because if you put that into an outer card, the top and the bottom are fine. But if you don't trim off, because it's folded and it's inside the other card, you'll find this sticks out a little bit. So I trimmed off just the slightest of fractions to stop it from doing that. This is going to be a little bit blingy. Well, maybe a lot blingy. The easiest way of adding more than one light to your card is by using a cut-off string of fairy lights from a battery-operated fairy light set. You cut off the number of lights you want. On one side you can trim it right the way down to the light bulb. The other side you want to leave some long wires. Now these wires you need to treat with a emery board or file or whatever to remove the protective coating, only for about the last centimetre or so, 2 centimetres at most. And once you've done that, they will be quite easily usable with a tiny little battery. This is a CR2016. I have to remember which name it was. And it's very flat, so you don't need to build the card up at all to use this. Now if you sandwich it between the 2 wires and nothing happens, chances are you've got it around the wrong way. So turn it over and there you go, it lights up. Now the smooth side is the positive side. So if you then take that wire and you curl it back, you now know that the positive wire has a curl on the end. So now you know which wire is which. And you know that that one needs to go on the smooth side and the other one needs to go on the patterned side. When it does that, they will light. So that's an important thing to start off with. Now the other thing is you need to know where you want to put your battery and you need to know where you want your lights to go. So you're limited where you can put your lights because you need to have them no more than 8 or 9 centimetres apart. This particular set of lights, they are 10 centimetres between them, but you want a little bit of give in it. You don't want to really stretch them out. So about 8 or 9 centimetres apart in straight lines is fine. Obviously, you know, if you're going to curve it, you know, you might have your lights closer together, but as long as you don't exceed that length, you'll be able to put holes where you want them. So in order to do your battery, it doesn't make any difference whether you have the battery up one way or the other, as long as you know which way it is. Now, if, for example, I wanted to start off, what I would do is I would have my battery marked here. Now, in my particular file, what I've done is I've actually put a hole as a template that you can use, and you can use that to mark out where your battery is going to go and mark out where the battery is going to go on the back of your inner card. Okay, so you've got the front of the card, or the inside if you like, and you have the back of it, so you want to mark that down. And what you want to do is to stick your battery in place like that, and your other wire can go somewhere else for the time being. Now, to stick your battery in place, you can use copper adhesive tape. Now this stuff is really easy to tear and to use, and it must be conductive adhesive on it, okay? Because if it isn't, it's not going to do anything. Now I'm not going to make the circuit actually out of this tape because I don't want to waste it, but I will show you how it actually works. I can get the backing off, which is always the difficult bit. Let's try this side. Yeah, there we go. So you would stick your wire down and you'll stick it down with some copper tape. Okay, Now, because it's got conductive adhesive, when you stick it down, that is still going to allow the electricity to flow, like that, okay? Now, to get your battery to stay in place, the easiest thing to do is to get a small piece of double-sided tape and to put it on either side of the copper tape. Don't put it over the copper tape, just put it on either side. And that way, your battery is going to stay put. It's not likely to go anywhere. So, there we go. Take the backing off of that and just place some pressure on that, and that battery is not moving anywhere. It's not going. So you can now work out where you can put your lights. Now, if you want to do this in an electronic file, you can. But if you don't want to do that, if, for example, you don't understand where your components are going to be, you don't know where they're going to be, you can do what I did today. And all I did was I worked out where I wanted my light to go. So, for example, if I've got one which is going to be just here, I know I've got one there, but I'll use this one as an example. So roughly where I want it to be, and I just get a sharp instrument and poke a nice hole through the card, using foam underneath, by the way. So then all you need to do is to turn your light so that the bulb goes in the hole. Sometimes easier said than done. And you just cover that with some sticky tape to keep it in place. Easy peasy, no problem at all. And you keep on doing that until you've used up all your lights. And this, you can trim off the excess here. I'm not going to do it at the moment, so I might want to use that separately. But you don't have to worry about it. You can just go around your card, put it in place, do what you want to do. So when it comes to doing the rest of the design, what you need to do is, let's just put that under there. We have our negative, we have our positive wire, and we need to put that on top of there, but we don't want it to stay there. So the easiest way of doing this is to tape it down. Now, I should be using copper tape, okay? I'm not going to, because I'd just be wasting it. But you want to keep putting some copper tape down until you can curl around, and then you can put the copper tape up here as well. You can fold it back down on itself, you can layer up the copper tape, but you want copper tape on the flap, and it needs to be either joined there or you need to have the wire up there. So the second part of your wire will come down, and then when that is closed, it completes the circuit. Now, this isn't going to work because obviously I've not completed the circuit. I've got my wire ending there. But you would literally just turn it around, double up your tape maybe, just put it over the top, and that way you can shield this from being on by putting a piece of plastic in there. You can cover this with a decorative element. You can put a couple of these little adhesive dots on the other side of your element, and then just stick it down over the plastic. That will be covered by the plastic. Your element will be stuck down on the plastic too, and just write some instructions on the plastic. Please remove plastic and whatever else you've put there, and stick it down, and then the circuit will be completed. But it will only be completed when someone's actually switched it on, and that is one of the easier ways of doing it. If, however, you are going to be seeing the person who's getting the card and you're going to give it to them on the day and you can't be bothered with the switch, don't bother. Just put your wire on top of there, tape it down, and it's going to be on permanently. So the choice is yours. I do have some videos that show various circuits and various ways of switching circuits on and off. I will put them up here at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a go at the card, even if you don't have a go at the lighting.